scarves, hand-painted by Romy. Perfect for carry-on luggage. She would buy presents for the husbands at the duty-free shop. Alcohol was always acceptable. As she ran through the checklist in her head, whilst surveying her stall, Romy felt a swell of pride at her handiwork. She'd been working so hard this season, doing all the local markets and Christmas fairs, selling her Christmas decorations. It wasn't a major earner, but apart from the rent for the stall, it was almost all profit. And it topped up what she earned from her part-time job while she was doing a master's. She was proud of the decorations, and only hoped Gus's parents would appreciate them when they opened their presents. Thinking about them as a family, she reflected that, while they were all kind enough, they were very hearty and, going by the parents, had loud voices. She didn't really object to the volume. It was the backslapping and teasing that was only just the right side of cruel that bothered her. And they all thought that anything not entirely practical, like art, was a complete waste of time. To make matters worse, Romy knew she'd only been invited to France because Gus had told his family her own parents were going to New Zealand for Christmas. Really, she would have preferred to spend Christmas with friends, but she would have felt ungrateful turning down the invitation. Gus was lovely, of course, and Romy had been mad about him when they'd first got together. But a year in, she sometimes wondered if she'd only been attracted to him because he was so different from her previous boyfriend. He'd once admitted to her that his friends were all a bit shocked that he'd chosen such an arty, indie type, while at the same time envying him for having such a gorgeous girlfriend. When they first met, he had asked her rather anxiously if she had any tattoos. She hadn't, but his question made her think of getting one. A bat, perhaps, on her wrist. This trip to France would be a bit of a test. If their relationship survived, they were probably meant to be together. She wished she didn't feel so ambivalent about it all, the Christmas and the relationship. "Here," said a voice. "I thought you could use this. You look cold." It was the man in leathers, handing her a mug of spicy hot chocolate. She took it with a grateful smile. "Thank you so much," she said. "I certainly could use it. I hardly had time for a cup of instant coffee this morning, and my boiler is broken." She took a heart-warming sip. "Please, take a look round the stall and have something free. For your girlfriend, maybe?" She hated herself for what must look like a blatant bit of digging, but it was too late. "I have actually got her a present," said the man. Judging by his expression, he seemed fairly confident that his girlfriend would like it. Romy knew it was silly to be disappointed. It wasn't as if she was free herself. But somehow she was. "Well, that's good. Most men don't even start thinking about it until Christmas Eve, so you're well ahead." "I do need some Christmas decorations, though. My house is a bit of a shell at the moment. My girlfriend's been having an early Christmas with her family in Connecticut. I want the place to look amazing when she comes back. Make her really fall in love with it." "Well," said Romy, having now sipped enough hot chocolate to warm her up, "Christmas decks are what I specialise in. All made by me. And there are these, in case you missed them." She gestured to a jar on the floor that contained white-painted branches. On the branches were decorations made to look like hot air balloons. Everyone had a single battery light, so from a distance the branches looked as if they were dotted with stars. Close up, you could see the individually painted egg-like shapes. He inclined his head. He had a slightly unkempt look that seemed genuine and not deliberate. If it was deliberate, it was extremely effective. "I have to say I was drawn to them when I first came in." "But you stopped at the coffee stall first." "I saw you stamping up and down and flapping your arms. I guessed you were cold." He was very twinkly, and impossible not to respond to. Romy laughed. "Was I that obvious? I am sorry. I think this stall is in a bit of a draught or something. Everyone else seems fine." In spite of his bad boy good looks, he had a very kind smile. She experienced a pang of jealousy for the girl who had parents in Connecticut. "So," she said briskly, "what would you like?" "I think I'd like all of them," he said after some thought. "I can't happily give you one."